G'day guys, Smith City here for Smith City Product Reviews. Well, I got the delivery, like I said in my last video, from Quakers Hat. It's there. I've ripped off my details just so you guys playing at home don't know where I live. I'm going to get it out of this package. And here is limited edition Nectaron S.M.A.S.H Pale Ale. And so as we saw with the last S.M.A.S.H I did, I assume that the S.M.A.S.H stands for single malt and single hops. So yep, this single malt and single hops pale ale features Nectaron, the latest hop sensation from New Zealand Hops Limited. Small batch independent craft brewery, store cold, drink cold. There it is. And as we know by these guys by now, you're never tempted by the devil without you, but the beer within you. Just like I said last time, I'm going to get it in me. So, I like the can. I like the grey down the bottom, or the silver down the bottom. And the fact that this is limited edition, it's in my hands, fantastic. We'll just quickly see if I can find the ABV without reading anything else. It's 375ml can with the black top, 1.4 standard drinks, 4.6% ABV. Quakers Hat Brewing, B14, 1 Campbell Parade, Manly Vale, New South Wales, 2093, Quakers Hat Brewing.com.au, made in Australia. So there it is. Going to get into a glass and let you know what I think. As we saw with their station, which nearly blew the can away when I opened it, and also my face when I opened it. We'll see what this one does. A little bit more subdued. We'll bang it in here. Why not? Good looking beer. I can smell it from here. As this is my only second S.M.A.S.H type beer, I'll see if I can do it justice by telling you what I think I can smell. Very small, fast firing carbonation bubbles there. The head is going to go down. Very crisp, sort of pale straw looking colour. I'm going to get straight in, have a sniff for you. Does smell fruity, does smell citrusy. Sort of smells more like stone fruits. It smells good, guys, and it looks even better. Look at that. All right, get in my gullet. Oh, that's delightfully devilish. That is good. That is good. So there was a Mosaic IPA I tried a while back by Mosaic IPA from Two Bays, that was very much like stone fruit nectarine type flavors. And it was limited release, or like a seasonal release, I should say. And I did message them and said, oh, I think I found my go-to, like my stock standard sort of like IPA that I'd love to take away, like camping or somewhere where I can drink bulk of them and sort of not get sick of them. And obviously it was seasonal. It even says it on the can. I didn't read that part when I messaged them. Quakers Hat, like I said with my last review with the single malt and single hop XPA by Reckless Brewing. I hope you guys consider making that not a limited release. That's my cup of tea. So it's a Nectaron S.M.A.S.H Pale Ale, this is. So it's not an IPA. Look how clean, crisp that is. As this came all the way from New Zealand, you can see that the can is a little bit dinted, but that's just what you get sometimes. It's no knock on those guys. The fact that it got here without any punctures, and I get to enjoy it, is absolutely amazing. So I'll probably try to get a sneaky thumbnail there. It's interesting, like that carbonation, or like, wouldn't say bitterness, but like that sensation of fizz that you get is on the front palate. Then sort of you get those stone fruits coming through on the mid palate, and then it sort of just finishes off very smooth. So what's the ABV again? 4.6. This is one where you can drink plenty of. And I don't know whether all single malt and single hop beers are smashable, because I've only had two now, but I dare say that is the case. That's how sort of the direction breweries are going with that sort of style of beer. This is good. This is very, very good by these guys. This is making me a touch bit bloated, but that's just because I finished with the dumplings and another beer, so it's got nothing to do with the beer. I just had 12 dumplings and what I thought was one serve of spring onion pancakes, but it pretty much was 2 spring onion pancakes by myself. So it's one where you can just go to town on. Obviously it's been pissing down rain in Melbourne all day today. I should have seen the radar. The whole radar was like green and yellow, covering all of Melbourne. It was only until after lunch where we sort of hung around a little bit at the servo for like, and maybe an extra half an hour than what we would normally with our lunch break, before we decided that like we were either going to chuck it in or continue working, and then it stopped raining for a bit. So we ended up going and doing another job. We weren't able to fix any brakes because the whole left-hand side of the house was just like covered in water. So like all the the brakes that were there that we've located, you can't fix them when it's like that, and the whole back part of the property, your gumboots are just sink, so it's not even safe to dig, to be honest. So yeah, them had an earlier day than normal on a Friday, but it could have been a bit earlier had we not gone to that second job. So yeah, I digress, I suppose, with that story, but it's more so that this beer probably isn't suited to this sort of weather, but I am enjoying it even though it is this weather. This would be absolutely fantastic on like a 24-degree day. You know, a beer is good on this channel when I want to finish it on the review. That's when you know. That's when you know there's a good beer here. So rating. I have given Quakers was their Pale Ale? I think I gave their Pale Ale a 10, and I gave their Culture 9, and I gave their Red Rye IPA a 9. It's in the same ballpark, but what's it going to be? Keeping the suspense for you guys. I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. It's really good. It's very, very good. It's a very well constructed beer. It's balanced right. It's very drinkable. Just like the beer I had last. It's like crisp. It's crisp and to the point. Like it's just, there's not a lot to it. There's not a lot of stuff going on. It's not a complex craft beer by any stretch of the imagination. So I think most people, I'll use this term, with generic palates, or as I like to call them, GPs, would like this drink, 100%. I've no doubt in my mind that most beer drinkers would love this. You're like, you know, your stock standard beer, like, is it just like your typical standard Carlton Draft or VB or Tui's or 4X Gold or whatever? And that's not to say this is anything like those, because it's definitely not. It's definitely not anything like those. But I could definitely see those sorts of drinkers enjoying that. And before I leave you, so I've given this a 10, before I leave you, to those type of drinkers, stop being a one-dimensional drinker. Like, you probably look at me or other craft beer drinkers and call us beer snobs. But who's the one being the snob? Who's the one being the snob? I'll drink those sorts of beers. I have no problem with drinking those sorts of beers. I like them like you guys do. You know, there's a time and place for them, and I don't mind them. But who's the snob? And I want to reiterate this to you. Nectaron is a New Zealand hop. It's not a fruit, it's a hop. Just like the hops that are in your VB, just like the hops that are in your Carlton Draft, just like the hops that are in other beers, generic beers that you like, it is a hop. So, like I heard on Marty Sheargold today on Triple M. He's like, I don't like fruit in my beer. It's just the way that it's brewed, and it's the way that the hops are brewed. 9 times out of 10, it's how the hops and the malts are brewed. And if any of those generic beer lovers that like VB and Carlton Draft and stuff, and they hate craft beer and they hate this, go actually look at a VB review on Google and have a look at the flavor profile, and then go back to your beloved drink, have a sip of that, and actually try to break down what you're tasting instead of just mindlessly drinking it. And I can almost guarantee you're going to get some characteristics of some of these craft beers that I'm trying. 100%. So I just thought I'd throw that in there because I know lots of people that are like that. This isn't really directed at anyone in particular, but it was on the radio. It pissed me off this morning. It was like, I don't like fruit in my beer. It's not fruit. Like, the same hops that are in your beer that are in the beer of your choice that you like, it's the hops. So I won't go off on a massive rant because I could go on about this for like another 5-10 minutes because it sort of riles me up inside. This is a really good beer. So if any of those guys that I've sort of singled out or pointed out, get your hands on this bad boy. Get it in ya, and enjoy. Anyway, guys, it's Mr. City out.